If you're looking for a good deer rifle for a good price, Gun Test Magazine's test team found 4 that won't break the bank. But we did have a favorite that blended a great price and great performance at the range. The 243 Winchester bolt actions we tested were a Ruger American, a Savage Model 110, a Stevens Model 334 imported from Turkey, and a Weatherby Vanguard First Light. In a head-to-head test conducted by Contributing Editor Joe Woolley, our shooters found the American was the most accurate in this quartet, with an average group size of 0.98 inches across 3 different types of ammo. All in, the Savage Hunter had the best stock in the test, offered a good trigger, and produced good groups. We'd be happy to hunt with this one. Some bolt-action rifles require that they be cycled quite a few times before they smooth out. The Stevens bolt operated smoothly from the beginning. Based on the price range and the heavy trigger, we have to confess that we weren't expecting marvelous groups, and we were happily wrong. This Weatherby Vanguard First Light may have wound up in last place in the accuracy race, but it only missed first place by an average of 0.15 inches overall. We have to declare a winner, but there just wasn't much difference between the winner and the loser. For this test of 243 Winchester bolt-action rifles, we used 80 grain TTSX rounds by Barnes, 90 grain TGK loads from Sierra, and 95 grain SST bullets loaded by Black Hills ammunition. 3 of the 4 rifles did very well with the Black Hills 95 grain load with Hornady SST bullets. The Stevens really tightened things up with the Barnes TTSX loading. Here we see different treatments of the bolt heads. We had no feeding or ejection issues. Left, the rear of those 2 lugs on the Savage Hunter's bolt float a bit, helping the bolt line up as concentrically as possible with the action. The 3 lug bolts of the Stevens left and the Ruger right also have similar ejector plungers and extractors. Right, the black bolt of the Weatherby also has 2 lugs. The accuracy data we collected at the range didn't uniformly favor any one rifle, but the Ruger was best overall. We fired the rifles at 100 yards with scopes. With the Barnes VOR-TX, the Savage eked out a narrow win. With the Sierra Game Changers, the Ruger was only slightly better than the Savage. With the Black Hills Gold rounds, the Ruger was more than a 1/4 inch better than the others. The Ruger American rifle was configured for a conventional rotary magazine, but the base stock is made to allow different types of magazines. The easy conversion is another cost savings to you. The Savage M110 Hunter comes with a 4-round metal magazine. Feeding was flawless. The Stevens magazine holds only 3 rounds. Most hunters don't need more than that in the gun, but capacity always helps. The Weatherby carries its ammunition in a smooth feeding 5-round internal box. The Ruger's injection molded stock won't win any beauty contests, but it does its job well. The Savage 110 comes with a very rigid stock due to the molded in chassis and is very easily adjusted. If you need a tiebreaker between the Savage Hunter and the plain Ruger American polymer stock, this is it. There was some good figure on the Stevens Turkish walnut stock, especially for an inexpensive rifle. The Vanguard's buttstock had enough height in the Monte Carlo comb to locate our face correctly for the scope, and a negative comb to push recoil past our cheek instead of into it. The Ruger power bedding blocks do a good job of attaching the stock to the action while lifting the barrel off the stock. The injection molded stock won't win any beauty contests, but it does its job well. Ruger doesn't use glass bedding or other traditional methods for attaching the stock to the action, but the outcome is still a free-floating barrel. Inside the Savage Hunter stock is an aluminum cradle. The entire action is mated to this cradle via a strong recoil lug and 2 screws tightened into the action. Part of that cradle extends into the forend, making that nice and rigid as well. The barrel free floats in the stock channel. The Turks added a nice bedding block through which the Stevens action attaches to the recoil lug. They even use pillars to keep from crushing the wood. The barrel free floats as a result. The Weatherby stock lacked a bedding block or other metal-to-metal fitments like we saw on the others. The First Light's forend was well reinforced on the inside, but not to the extent of the Savage Hunter. It was also left in firm contact with the barrel. No free floating here. So what did our shooters think of these rifles? The Stevens Model 334 got a B grade and was our 4th choice. We thought the trigger could be improved, its capacity increased, and the lines made a bit more pleasing to the eye. If you want a wood stock, then this isn't a bad pick. The Weatherby Vanguard First Light was a B+ gun, we thought. It had good accuracy with an outstanding trigger. Balance was great, and it was easy to carry. Free float the barrel, and this easily could have been our winner. However, it cost twice as much as the Ruger. The Savage Model 110 Hunter was a grade A- gun, offering good accuracy and a good trigger. The rifle's AccuStock comb height inserts and butt pad length of pull inserts allow for wide customization. We awarded the Ruger American an A- grade and thought it was the best buy of this quartet. It was the most accurate rifle in the group by a narrow margin, and it was the lightest in this group. We would have liked it to have a threaded muzzle for a brake or suppressor. Gun Test Magazine evaluates firearms head-to-head every month with recommendations and grades. For details, grades, and recommendations, check the guntest.com website. As always, I'm Todd Woodard, editor of Gun Test Magazine. We'll see you at the range.
You can learn more about this report and others, plus the latest issue of Gun Test Magazine at guntest.com.